that's a bad start. Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Sunday, December the 20th, and today is football day. I mean, I was going to say tonight because it's already 7:30 p.m. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, football night with one of the biggest matches in the league. Not because of what's at stake. No, kinda, but more because of an old rivalry. Marseille is playing against Bordeaux in Bordeaux, and it's the inaugural match of this rivalry in their new stadium. That I can't remember the name. I think it's Matmut Atlantique, something like that. Anyway, why do I say that it's not really what's at stake, though it kinda is? Because the funny thing is, for two teams that have been playing each other at the top level for so long, and I think even in the lower rungs of the league, I'll have to check that. Because there's a point in Marseille's history when they had to fall to the second division because of financial shit, I think, and Bordeaux for the same reasons. But yeah, in the 80s, Bordeaux was the big champ. They had lots of good players, including a few that played in the national team, like Alain Giresse, and I think Jean Tigana also played in Bordeaux at that time, which is kind of weird because Jean Tigana is kind of from Marseille, so yeah. And Marseille just came back from the second division, where they had been because lack of funds, I will say, though it might have been also a lack of talent. I mean, if you go to the Wikipedia page, you can see that the lowest attendance in the Stade Vélodrome is like 400 people. 400, not 4,000, 40,000. No, it would be weird because 40,000 in a 50,000 seat stadium is a lot. So yeah, 400 people in a match against Forbach. Which is a team in Alsace, close to Strasbourg. So yeah, Marseille just came back from the second division and had been bought by a big hotshot who was also a member of the government, Bernard Tapie, who surprisingly is pretty left wing. Somehow, I mean, he's always known to be bold and brash and a loudmouth and all about that sweet money, but apparently he's from the left. So yeah. Since 1977, Marseille hasn't won a match away against Bordeaux. The last match being in 2014, with some help from the referee. Alessandrini had been obviously obstructed in the penalty zone, so it was in the box. What do you expect? What do you wait for? What are you waiting for to blow the whistle and to show the penalty spot? Nah, fuck off. Plus, it was just before halftime, so it was the perfect time to score. But anyway, so in this rivalry, especially for this match, there's really no winning in terms of reputation, of course, because in terms of the table, Marseille could probably step up a bit, because we're 9th or 10th at this point before the match. So yeah, winning now wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, there's no winning because if we win, the Bordeaux supporters will say that still we haven't won at Chabin, which is the old stadium of Bordeaux, which is now only used by the rugby team, who are doing pretty well for themselves in the European Cup. Uh, but yeah, we haven't won against them in Chabin. If we lose, it's even worse because if we lose or if we draw, because it's it's a series that keeps going on, and that's not cool because it will say, you see, it's not because of the stadium, it's just because of the place. You can't win, and really fuck them. Um, yeah, rivalries in the history of Marseille have been pretty temporary. I mean, in the top flight, when we go to national rivalries, there was this old rivalry against Saint Etienne because Saint Etienne was a hot shot. They were playing in the European Cups, and Marseille was kind of the underdog. But the president was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be number one." It's always except against Paris, where it's more about, yeah, we've got this channel with this premium channel who has the exclusivity to the rights of to the broadcasting rights of the top flight, and we've got we've got no big match. What do you think we can do about that? Said the president of Canal Plus. And Bernard Tapie, the president of the Olympique de Marseille, said, yeah, what if we created a rivalry between our two teams, because Canal Plus had stakes, I think majority in Paris, the PSG. So yeah, there was, and the PSG was pretty good at that time. I mean, they were contenders for the title. They were playing. No, they weren't playing in Europe because at the time the Champions League was literally the Champions League. It wasn't even the Champions League because it was the cup of league winners, So yeah, it was only the first of the table who was in the Champions League. So yeah, they fabricated that rivalry, but it turns out that on social grounds, it's also a thing, because the people in Paris, they are kind of assholes against the people who are everywhere else in the country. So when you have a team that crystallizes all the things that Paris hates about the countryside, the province, as they say, well, there's gonna be a hot rivalry, and Marseille particularly hates Paris because Marseille has always had kind of an independent spirit when it comes to France. I wouldn't say even more so than Corsica, but Corsica is another case entirely. Talking about Corsica, the Gazélec beat Lyon 2-1, and that's as good as it is for Ajaccio. It's really bad for Lyon because Lyon were second, just behind Paris in the 13th match day, and now they're like 6th, which is no, they're not 6th, they're 9th, and nobody is really putting a show. The only one who's trying is Clément Grenier, and he was injured in a match against Arsenal in July, and he's been injured ever since, and he came back like 2 weeks ago, and he's the only one who's trying. Also, they probably lack Nabil Fekir, who's been injured in a national team match. That's not good. So yeah, Marseille has feuded at the national level with Saint Etienne, Bordeaux, Paris, and Lyon. the only against Saint Etienne is it's not really that hot anymore because Saint Etienne has spent a lot of time in the recent years in the second division, even though they've been in the first division for the last 10 years, but they've never been able to, to recapture the flame of what did their success in the 70s, and also the reason why Marseille hasn't feuded with Reims, who was a big team in the 50s, because Marseille was pretty shit in the 50s. Nobody talks about the 60s for some reason. So yeah, the only rivalries that matter is against Bordeaux when it's at home, when it's in Bordeaux, against Paris because fuck Paris really, and against Lyon because Lyon, they're a young club compared to Marseille. They've been founded in like the 50s, while Marseille's the Olympique de Marseille has been created in the late stages of the 18th century, the 19th century. The date is 1899, but the Omnisports Club has been created in 1892. Omnisports Club is is a club which has branches for lots of sports. It's kind of self-explanatory. And Lyon, their name is Olympique, and you're like, well, I mean, aren't you copying a little bit? Also, their boss is a piece of shit. So yeah. So tonight is going to be, either the walk of shame or just saying that, yeah, you're saying that, but you're grasping at straws because we're never going back to Chaban to play to play you. We're playing in whatever your stadium is called, and you have to deal with the fact that you have lost our first encounter in that stadium, and fuck you. So anyway, wow, it's not looking good. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Oh boy, my skin is looking very bad. I hope that this video will take fewer than 3 hours, or I don't really know how much time it actually took, because there's something called the Microsoft or the Windows minute, which is known for lasting a lot more than 1 minute. But the YouTube hour is like, well, I mean, they say the upload is about 1 hour, where it's actually over 90 minutes, and over 90 minutes for me it's almost 2 hours, so I call it 1 hour, like, oh, it's a bit more than 1 minute, it's about 1 minute, and you're like, well, I mean, the only time where you begin counting down the seconds is 80 seconds, and you're like, what are you doing, man? So yeah, there's no way to accurately know how it all goes. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye. I really hope this isn't going to be just hard cuts, every 2 seconds or so. I would hate that. He hates it.